already know what it is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You already know what it is. EGTV. And we're back again with another video. And you know what? We did it, ladies and gentlemen. We went out to Manchester United after 14 years since the last time we won away at Manchester United at Old Trafford. We went and we did it. And you know what? This is going to be a good one. We got an hour-packed show with a bunch of guests, a bunch of people, Arsenal fans, Manchester United fans, maybe even some other rivals coming in here and there. But you know what? Big up to everybody watching. Big up to all you guys watching on whatever platform you're watching. You could be watching it on Twitter. You could be watching it on Facebook. You could be watching it anywhere. But big up to all you guys watching. And you know what? Let's get started. EGTV. We're going to get it started right about now. What's going on, everybody? I need you guys to go check out my channel and subscribe if you're new. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that button, and hit that notification bell while you're at it, ladies and gentlemen. EGTV, you already know. And if you're on your phone, it's even easier. Press that like button for me. And you know what? Subscribe while you're still here. And big up to everybody watching. Check out most of my content. I'll be throwing out more content every single day. Yes, sir. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? We did it. We won, and Kesh is in the house. Kesh was good, late edition. And yo, I just want to talk about something right now, quickly, before we move on any further. Big performance, big win. And you know what? As Arsenal fans, we were expecting the worst. And you know what? What we weren't expecting happened. We went out there, we got a clean sheet, we won 1-0. And you know what? None of us were expecting to win by a penalty. We got a penalty, and the person who gave it to us, Mike Dean, he didn't look that happy to give a penalty, but I don't care. I'm taking it all day long. Even though one of our players could have been sent off, even though we were not clinical and we should have scored more goals, I'm taking it all day long. And you know what? Before I get to Kesh or Nitish, I want to get to Sahel. Sahel, I know you, my friend, you have been talking about the fact that we have not been showing you enough. Did you see enough from Arsenal this performance?
You know what? This performance was probably the best of the season. But you know what? Now it's just kind of funny, man. The match itself makes me laugh. You know, Ollie, thank you, Ollie. Thank you, Pogba. Thank you for Rashford. I need to thank a lot of Man United players for not showing up. I'm not sure where they are right now. They all are hiding. I don't know where they are. No United fans. You know what? I think, you know what? They kind of cursed themselves because they were talking big. I was down in the dumps thinking we're going to get destroyed. It's so ironic here. We won on a penalty. So ironic. See how, you know, fate is a weird thing, yeah? How a penalty of all the ways we could win, a corner kick, go out for open play, we score from a penalty. It was written in the stars. You know, these things are written in the stars. You can't make this shit up, you know. These things you can't make up, Egal. It's literally written. It's written down already, man. How can we win in a penalty of all the ways to score? Yeah, a penalty. Come on, man. You were Manchester United. Yeah, this is Arsenal. This is Arsenal. Arsenal Football Club. Yeah, winning a penalty. When's the last time we won a penalty? I can't even remember. Forget Bellerin winning. I can't remember the last penalty we won.
I think I can remind you. It was near the end of the season last year. Didn't we win a penalty against Watford?
Oh my god. Feels like a lifetime ago, man. It honestly feels like a lifetime ago. It does feel like a lifetime ago, man. We don't win a lot of penalties, to be fair, on United. So Pogba was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Silly tackle by him. Bellerin was not even a dangerous situation. This is what I hate, yeah. You know, I hate when people do that, even opposition. You know, I look at that, I say, why is Pogba doing that? Because he's literally not in a dangerous. You can just leave Bellerin. What's Bellerin gonna do? He's not crossing a ball in. He's not doing anything like that. You should just leave him. Let him do whatever he wants to do. Just stay behind him, or you know, get there. You know, that defending was terrible by Pogba, and I don't know what the guy was. A Shaw on the other side. Was Shaw on the other side, or Wan-Bissaka?
He must have been pissed at the mustache.
It was one of the others. Yeah, I have no idea who was on that side with him, but he didn't even help him. Pogba should have got some help from his winger because that's what we did. We like to play without wingers in coming inside. And sometimes, yeah, I always complain about the tactics not working. It worked kind of today, to be fair, on Arteta. The tactics worked, playing the fullbacks inside, coming inside, playing with five in the middle. But Egal, man, I love this team. I love Arsenal. I'm not saying it out of hatred. I don't think these tactics will get us through the line where you think. I don't think we will get the top four because the tactics, even though we did very well today, I don't see us beating the small teams enough to get enough points to win, to get the top four. We need to get the top four, or we need to, compete. We can't.
True.
We can't make chances. What was our chances? Be honest. Was
You created 3
Lacazette?
clear-cut chances.
Yeah, Lacazette missing a. Yeah, he missed one. Aubameyang, he was not getting that. I'm sorry, Aubameyang was not getting that. And then the penalty really we didn't even make the chance. It was a fault. It was a fault by them. And the 3 chances, I didn't see any clear cut where I can say, you know what, except for Lacazette's chance where he should have controlled it. Maybe he could have took it a little bit better. Lacazette has been really bad this season. I like that guy as well, but he should have done better with that chance, to be honest.
Yeah, I understand. But then I want to go to Nitish because I know Nitish thinks a little bit different from you. Nitish, what did you think about the performance?
First of all, the Lacazette chance or the Aubameyang chance were deflections. Lindelof has blocked those shots. He has deflected both of those. So it's not that they've missed it completely, but obviously they should be doing better. No doubt about it. And yes, I agree with the fact that we should be finishing off these games. But this wasn't our best game of the season. The Leicester game was better. We dominated that game way more than this one. But at the end of the day, thank you, Solskjaer. What a stupid setup. What a sad setup. He's put Fred at the base of a 3-man midfield who loves to carry the ball and run with the ball. If you saw against Leipzig, it was actually Matic who plays those passes. So that is why it has worked. And he put Fred there at the center, and he's put Pogba on the left-hand side, and he's put out a flat midfield there, 3-man midfield behind Bruno. So when Pogba is going forward, Bruno has to go backwards to fill that void, or they are playing side passes with each other and they're not pushing forward. So thank you, Solskjaer. It was more. I will say that if it was 50% Arteta, it is 50% Solskjaer who's gifted us the game. So thank you, Solskjaer.
Okay. Before I get to anybody else, I just want to say, yo, Kesh, what did you think as an Arsenal fan?
The way I've assessed it, Man United lacked a bit of structure in that formation. Bruno, I didn't know if he was playing as a DM or is he playing as a striker. He wasn't holding that position in between the lines to actually help his team get further forward on the pitch. For me, it looks like he seems to think that he's the boss of this team. He can do whatever he wants. Like when you watch him for Portugal, he actually plays a lot deeper. He's not a 10. A lot of people seem to think he's a 10. He's far from a 10. He's an 8. A 10 does not lose the ball the amount of times Bruno loses the ball. And as I said in the preview, Jem was there. You can quote me on this. I said, this formation, I'm confident going into this game with this formation. So if Pogba played on the left, as we saw, him going backwards, it's not a plus for United. And you can see that the team actually worked on that because normally Arsenal attack down the left with Aubameyang. But it was like a thing where, okay, don't worry, we're going to use the right this time. And a lot of those chances, those half chances, came from the right-hand side. The Willian one where you hit the bar, the Bellerin one, obviously was a bit too much on it, so Aubameyang didn't really anticipate it quick enough. But for me, it was a perfect game plan. Just sit in, make it hard for them. You saw the likes of the Elneny, Marcus Bruno out the game. Partey was matching every run that Pogba tried to do. Every single run. That guy didn't give him no room at all. And from when Man United's key players are not in the game, you know you've got a chance.
Yeah.
Can
Okay.
I just add one thing?
One
they
second,
went into-
Nitish.
Sorry.
I want to get to everybody before you jump back in. Ads, as a United fan, you tell us what you thought.
Initially, when I saw the lineup, I was aghast. We're gonna give them. I thought we were gonna give them what we gave to RBL. I thought we were gonna go. I thought we were gonna go in hard. The only thing wrong with the formation was where McTominay and Fred were playing. I feel like Fred should have been when McTominay was playing, and if you wanted to play McTominay, put him where Fred was, because the RCM role is Fred's all day long, and we've seen what he can do in that position. I think we just weren't in the game, and that's no excuse. But Arsenal did play well. We were weak attacking, we were weak defensively, we were weak in the midfield. And I can't say that Arsenal didn't deserve any more than 3 points.
Okay. And then, Jem, what did you think as a neutral and not supporting either team?
Right. I'm not going to be salty because at the end of the day, you guys did deserve to win the game. It was pretty clear that you guys done something in that game that I haven't seen you do against the top six yet since Arteta's been there. And that was the high pressing. You guys are used to just sitting back and allowing teams to counter on you and then hitting them on the counter. But what you did against Man United actually caused them so many problems that they couldn't actually hack it because you were pressing them higher up the pitch. Their key players were getting on the ball, like Pogba and that, and Partey was in their face. And they just had a nightmare of a game, Man United. They just really couldn't. I don't think they expected it. That's what I think it was. I think they just thought you were going to sit and they were going to dictate the game and, you're going to let them play. But that didn't happen. Look, Arsenal deserve to win. Yeah. The only critical element I've got to Arsenal is that, barring the penalty, you guys would have drew that game. And the reason I say that is because in the first half, you should have been 2-3-0 up, and you've got to be a lot more clinical against the top six teams. Yeah, and that's the only thing I can say about that performance from Arsenal is that they weren't. I don't think you were clinical enough in the first half. Defensively, you look strong. You look good. Can't complain about that. But now it's just about seeing what happens next week, and if you can continue with that form, you know what you're like anyway. You've got a habit of doing this, and then next week we're sitting there talking that you've lost 2-0 or saying, do you know what I mean? So we'll have to see.
Yeah, 100%. Now, Ahmed and Jack, I'm going to get to you guys. Ahmed, you're first. You're next in line. Ahmed, what did you think as a neutral? What did you think of the performance?
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you, Egal. United can't be consistent. They're back to being shit now. So they have a period of 1 month, good football, and then they become shit. Oli will be sacked, and he will save his job in some way. I don't know. Maybe we're winning against PSG, but this is not good enough for United. Like up and downs all the time. They should be doing this on a consistent basis. And I think Arsenal played a really good game yesterday. So credit to them.
Thanks, man. And then I got Jack. Jack, what's going on? I think it's first time. What's your name? Is your name actually Jack?
Jack.
Yeah. Okay. What's good, Jack?
You know how everyone says like we ain't attacking well enough.
Yeah.
Like we're not clinical, but we as Arsenal fans, I think we can all agree we've gone so many years seeing our defense be poor. Like, and it's very refreshing. It is jarring or going forward scoring, but I'd rather win by 1-0 and get the win than score 3 and lose 4-3. If that makes sense.
So you'd rather a KG 1-0 over a 3-0?
Over like a 4-3 loss.
Oh, okay.
I think the most important thing is you've got to find balance, Jack. That's the problem, mate. Like it's all right to defend. You don't want to defend too much, but then do the opposite and just attack too much. Like this is the thing. I think you guys need to find a balance. Maybe in another day you would have scored more of them chances. I don't know, but you certainly need to be more clinical, mate, especially in the bigger games.
What I would say towards that topic is, I feel with more quality up front, we could be a lot more clinical. I feel we need to go down a path where you put your best striker through the middle. Your striker who's going to make these runs. When he gets one chance, you know he can bury it. And we need to start getting different personal like wingers who can actually create chances.
Yeah, but Kesh, you've got that, mate. You just don't play him in his position. That's the problem. Do you know what I mean? And that's
don't think so. I take it you're talking about Pepe, right?
No, I'm talking about Lacazette
Saka.
being dropped and playing Aubameyang through the middle and using Saka as your more. For me, Saka's your most
I agree.
productive player in terms that
agree.
he can open up a defence.
I do
You know
agree.
what I mean?
But then we need. That's what I'm saying. You know, we need to add more quality because Saka does offer you something in that midfield four as well. He does. Even
Yeah,
though
but-
I do admit he would be better as a right winger. But that
Yes.
just comes down to adding more personnel. You can actually get the job done.
Okay, Ahmed,
Cash.
you were saying something?
Yeah. Don't you think Lacazette was effective yesterday? I thought it was good, like doing high press, winning the ball.
He had so
High
many
up
missed
the field.
chances, bro.
For me,
Yeah,
So many
it's-
missed
for
chances.
me,
Yeah, but
he done the basics. But
I
when
can't see
when it-
Aubameyang do that as a striker. I can't see him do that.
I just don't see what he offers you when he's
He
playing up
doesn't-
front. Like he doesn't do enough for me when he's
He
in the
doesn't do
team.
enough.
Like that's the biggest problem for me with him.
Can I just as a striker, your main way you get paid for is to score goals, and this is the problem with Laka. I like Laka. He does that work rate, and that's why I think Arteta likes him, and he holds the ball up much better than Aubameyang. That's why he
Aubameyang,
actually
yeah.
plays through the middle. The problem I think Arsenal got right now is we have a tendency to play like a 3-5-2 ish, like that kind of formation. That's the problem right now. We got too many plays going a little bit too forward, and none of them can actually ping a ball, and none of them can actually cross a ball. So we literally a little bit too predictable. So if Man United just sat back and did nothing, it would have been most likely would have been 0-0. And that's the problem. We got no midfielders that can ping a ball, that can make a cross, that can. We don't have a Trent, we don't have a Kevin De Bruyne. That's why it would actually
I
be
wouldn't-
a little. Huh?
I don't
I
agree.
don't
with
think
that.
many. I
was
don't think
good
many
yesterday.
clubs have a Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah,
really, do
but
they?
but I'm not saying that you have to have a player of his quality. But no one even tries. If you watch Arsenal, no one tries even a long ball. No one would try like a ping ball or a early cross. No one would try it. Why? Because Arteta has told them, don't do this. Pass side to side. Pass it through the wing back. Cross.
How
let
do
the
you know
wing back
that?
cross.
How do you know
I know for a
How do you
fact. I watch Arsenal every game. I know for a fact. I
Bro,
watch
you can't
every
be-
single dribble.
Okay,
Every
you're
single
saying
dribble.
that.
How the hell
Second, one
can I
second,
not
one
know?
second. You're saying that he's told them this, but the majority of games you play, the same players remain on this team sheet. So I don't know
What do you
about that,
mean?
bro.
No, I get
You're
the
saying-
feeling.
I've seen Partey play numerous balls, ping balls.
Yeah.
United.
No,
And then,
stop.
as well,
You're naming
was
one
good
player, bro.
There
You're
are-
naming one or two players. I'm talking
there
about
are
the team. The team has to, not the one player. How
Yeah,
can one player
yeah, but
make
you just said no one. I'm just saying you said no one.
Come
No,
on,
I
man.
get the-
You know what I meant. You know what I meant.
Saka try to do it as well.
I
But
get the
that-
feeling.
But that
Sorry,
goes back to what I just said. I said we need more personnel so we can get the job done. That's what I said earlier.
I get the
But
feeling
that's
that there are two or three players like David Luiz, maybe to an extent Xhaka, and now Thomas Partey, who only play the long balls, and others are told not to play it because they are not good enough to play it.
They're not good
And
enough
Yeah,
to play.
yeah.
one more thing with respect to why Lacazette plays central, because most of Tierney's crosses are aerial, and Aubameyang can't head the ball like Lacazette should. Whether he does it or not is
Yeah,
a different
but
thing.
it don't matter because
But
even putting
Arsenal
balls
want
in
to
the
play
box.
out of the back. They don't want to
Yeah.
Indiana.
play so
One
much long
second.
ball.
Indiana said he's amazed how Arsenal fans are getting excited and gassed off a win by a penalty. Right? Like, I'm not getting
United-
gassed about the win off the penalty.
He's got a point.
It's basically getting that monkey off the back. You know what
United
it is?
shouldn't talk about being gassed.
It's getting your monkey off the back.
Okay.
Where it's been 14 years not winning away at Old Trafford. It's been 5 years not winning away against a top 6 team. We always hear about that Man City game in 2015 as the last time we beat a big team away from home. And you know what? Arteta has now done something that Emery was unable to do. Arsene Wenger was unable to do for like the last 2-3 seasons of his career at Arsenal. And to me, that is what we're getting more excited about. It's not necessarily beating Manchester United; it's beating them away from home. It doesn't matter the circumstances of the goal; it's
Egal.
strictly the circumstance
but I
of
just
the
want to say
history
one thing,
behind
though.
it.
People are saying United fans shouldn't be gassed, right? Yes, there are penalties involved in our games, but it's not like we score 1-0. It's not like we bag 1-0 games, and that's like the
No,
penalty's
but-
the only goal, mate.
No, but what I would say,
You guys were mad excited.
what I
like,
would
Yeah,
say
that's
a
about
week
that
ago.
though, what I would say about that is, though, there's been a lot of games where United has been stalemate, and it's been the penalty
Yeah.
that's actually pushed them forward. If that game had gone on longer, I do think we would have got a goal because we would have hit definitely on the counter. Without a doubt, we would have caught you on the counter.
Listen,
Like, they
Kesh,
went
you
on
guys,
longer.
Jack was trying to say something. Let Jack get in. Jack.
I think my Arsenal fans are because of how much Man United was talking. That they ain't helped themselves in this situation. Like Neeks and on the previews and stuff, they just keep
Okay,
talking about
so
how we were bad. They were going to score
okay,
Arsenal.
look how hard your lot are talking. Yeah, you lot think you're confident for your next game. Is that what you're telling me?
No, but
That
we're
when
not going. We're not going.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the fans that obviously he said that obviously we get gassed after we win these types of games, right? Yes, every single team in the Premier League who beats a big side deserves to be gassed, right? I'm just
Can I
saying.
just
Right now,
counter that?
United fans are being salty.
I'm not saying you, Kesh. I'm saying some of the Arsenal lot, some of the Arsenal fan base are getting gassed, and they deserve to be because Manchester United are a big side. I'm just saying. Is it fair for people from other clubs to be telling us to calm down and that we got shut down? It can happen to any team. It can happen to any.
That's the
Listen.
thing. United fans are telling Arsenal fans right now to slow down. That's my
Listen,
problem.
listen.
Let it happen to all
Let
the
Jem
teams.
speak.
Wait,
Let Jem speak.
listen, look. This win was just a step in the right direction for Arsenal.
That's
That was
all it
it.
is.
That is all it is. Yeah, it's nothing any bigger than anything else because you guys have got to put, and it's like all the top 6 teams because they're all the same. We all need to be consistent, and no one can sit here and say, "Oh, because we beat Man United or we beat Chelsea, we're the best." No, it's just a step in the right direction, and that's it, man. Just move forward. Feel the vibes.
Egal.
And
Can I say one thing though before we move on? The reason why we're happy is because for once we can go to sleep easy as Arsenal fans. We all went to sleep easy last night. Like we were nice. We were living it. We were
Is that
enjoying
you, Egal?
ourselves. That was literally me. And when we see a center back like Gabriel performing the way he was performing, when we see, yes, Aubameyang had a little bit of a goal drought, and you know what? Getting that goal now can push him on. You know what I mean? Seeing
You know what I'd say
Partey.
though? I wouldn't even have wanted us to score a second. The fact we scored a penalty against Man United, it was just perfect for me. I wouldn't even change it to be any different.
but Jem, I would like to say if Willian scored that goal, I think Chelsea fans would have gone quiet as well. He hit the bar.
In what way?
He was off target.
Yeah.
Because a lot of Chelsea fans were
Yeah.
saying Willian is done, he's over, he's finished. He put in a good performance yesterday.
That's not
I
Jem
was-
though. Jem,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was one of the
Jem
only
never
people
said
that
that.
like Willian. Yeah,
Jem backed Willian still.
I like Willian. I didn't want us to get rid of him. I actually regretted that we got rid of him because I saw a talented player, even at his age, still with pace, good with the ball. He's a good player, man. Look what he was doing to Man United yesterday.
He is a good player.
He's a good player.
He loves
Egal,
Manchester
sorry.
United.
Yeah, go ahead, Saha.
Yeah, sorry, guys. I just want to say that I don't think Arsenal fans or Arsenal, we should not be gassed. Man United have the worst, I think one of the worst home records in the league. And we
You should be
got our
gassed.
monkey.
You deserve
No,
to be.
I know, but I'm just saying personally, me, I'm not gassed, overly
No,
gassed.
I think you're
Man
saying
United,
it wrong though.
I'm
You should be-
happy, but I'm not gassed.
I think you should be gassed about the game, not about the season. There's a difference.
Yeah.
You
No,
don't
I'm
beat your
gassed.
rival and not be gassed.
No, I'm not the reason why I'm not gassed is I'm more happy. I would say I'm not gassed. It's because Man United have been terrible at home, and there's a reason why they've been terrible.
One game
at home.
at a time, innit? That's what it comes down to.
Listen,
Yeah, but they've been terrible. You can't lie. They've been terrible at home. It's not like I'm making it up. They've been terrible at home,
But
and
it's still a big
we
game,
beat them.
Yeah.
You know, we got
It's a
beat
big
our
game,
man.
though.
That's a
Doesn't
good thing.
matter.
I'm not saying but I'm saying as an Arsenal fan, this is a good thing. We can move on. We can go to the next game, and this is where Arsenal have a thing as well. We need the next game.
Needs
The
to be a
next
win.
game we have to win is a must-win game.
And
It's
there's
not
no
even
point in beating
if
Man United.
no
That
buts.
is
We must
The
win.
biggest
It's
game.
not even a choice.
Yeah.
If we,
Yeah, it's a must
I
win.
don't care what performance we have here. Next
Must
game
win.
we must win. I don't care. Literally,
Can I
because
say
if
one
we
thing,
lose
though?
that game, there's no point in winning this game at all.
Yeah. It
No,
completely
that makes sense. That makes
dampens
sense.
the win. It does
That makes
dampen the
sense.
win.
But I have a question, and this question is gonna go to ads. We got some people saying Arteta schooled Ali. Some people saying Ali set up bad. Some people saying the Manchester United players did not perform. So at the end of the day, you can't give the credit to Arsenal because the Manchester United players didn't perform. Are you giving credit? Are you giving credit to Arteta? Or are you giving blame to Ali? Or is it a little bit of both? What do you think?
I'm not giving any blame to Oli at all. That was just a lack of players, and they weren't doing what they were told, and they weren't doing what they were meant to. They were being lazy yesterday, and Arteta gets full credit for my view. He gets full marks. He literally did what he had to do yesterday, and that just proves all people this here and Arteta, they should just shut up and just keep their mouth shut and just watch for the rest of the season. He'll do bits, and this is the thing, yeah. All these people could say, yeah, Arteta isn't good enough. He hasn't found himself yet. Listen, yesterday just proved what type of manager he can be, and he can be that man to lead Arsenal back to where they're meant to be. The Ollie outers, I don't want to speak for them because they're a bunch of joke men. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're saying. They're just idiots. Yes, they can say Ollie out and have a reason behind it, but half of them don't have a reason. They're just saying it because the majority of fans are. Ollie, we've seen him. He's a good manager. He can do things. He can win big games. He can win simple games as well. It's just the consistency.
I'm going to be honest with you, bro, yeah. If you want my honest opinion on yesterday's game, I do blame Ollie a little bit. And the reason I blame Ollie a little bit is because in the first half, you could clearly see that the diamond wasn't working. What he should have done was switched it at half-time and gone for a 4-2-3-1. Now, I'm not saying that would have beaten Arsenal and Arsenal would have lost, but I'm just saying that they would have been probably more comfortable in that position. Yeah, just giving them a solution. But he didn't do that. He left it. And all he done was bring Matic on for Fred, didn't change the shape, left Pogba on the wing. It wasn't working, mate. So I think Ollie has got a bit of blame there.
You know what I'll say as well?
Yeah.
Because
now go on, bro.
basically, Arsenal's two of Arsenal's centre backs was on the yellow, yeah. The ideal thing would have been to change it to a 4-3-3 and get your wingers running at that back
Oh,
four,
yeah.
that back five,
Change
yeah.
it.
But instead, he just made like for like changes that just didn't make sense.
I
So
agree.
it for me, it was poor decision.
Yeah.
It was a poor decision.
One of my friends said that if Arteta versus Emery was a thing, that is what it would look like. Yesterday's game.
No.
All I want to say is, all I want to say is, what the fuck is Ollie thinking keeping McTominay on?
Yeah.
It feels like Ollie doesn't have a
was your
plan.
best midfielder.
What?
I thought McTominay was better than Fred. Because,
No.
And Bruno was missing.
No,
At least McTominay
that
got
one
around.
McTominay was poor.
The thing is, I tweeted it out yesterday, and I got so much hate for saying that he's a bag of shit. Listen, Fred is better, Bruno is better, Pogba is better. He's by far one of our worst mediocre. He is mediocre.
He is mediocre.
Let's be honest, he's mediocre, and he looks better next to Fred. He doesn't look better playing above Fred. Like, come on, you don't push Fred backwards and make him the DM. That's not his role. He's an RCM, and he proved it in the big games as well as the small ones. Whole of last season, he can't be a CDM. And if he's a
like
CDM,
Ander Herrera. No ability, just passion.
Go on, Kesh. Go on, mate.
The whole idea of playing Pogba out on the left, it just doesn't make sense to me at all. Because you know you're gonna get an overload. You're gonna get an overload over that side, and Luke Shaw is not the greatest defender. He's all right, and then you expect Pogba to come back and help with the overlaps and everything. At one point in the game, he's going to switch off. He's going to switch off. So you're asking for trouble with that. And you can clearly see that Arsenal was targeting that side as well. You clearly saw it.
Yeah, he needed help.
Listen, even the sad thing is, even fucking Bellerin was even Pogba was struggling against Bellerin. Yeah, and the defender was actually getting past McTominay. This is why, and I say it again and again, you do not play McTominay up above the pitch with someone who's faster. You do not put someone like Fred or Pogba below him because
he didn't understand the role. McTominay didn't understand the role. He didn't know what he was meant to be doing during that game.
I blame the coach. You don't blame the player for that.
I blame the coach. I did say yesterday, I do blame Ollie for that, and I do blame him for keeping McTominay on because everyone knows now, like, if you don't know Fred's better than McTominay, then you clearly don't watch football. Like, you're just stupid.
No one's saying
it's true. It's true. It's just, because I was getting so much hate yesterday. I said, why are people giving people like Matic props yesterday? Like, what did he do? He did nothing. He just came on the pitch and started running. He didn't do anything. I think yesterday he had about 20 touches with the ball max. That's being nice as well, mate. I'm sorry.
1 second.
I like.
Let's take this topic. I want to introduce 2K into this, but before I did it, I'm just gonna say one thing. The midfield, we already know what happened with the midfield. We're gonna try to move past that. But 2K, I know you love one midfielder that you definitely want to talk about. You compare him to Pirlo. Tell me about the Egyptian Pirlo.
Bro, Cash, what did I say? Bro, Cash, what did I say, bro? What did I told Rax, I told Cash, I told JR, I told Egal. I said, bro, look, first things foremost, let me say this before I even continue. I'm gonna say, look, this is just a stepping stone for us as a club, bro. This isn't like some major achievement. This is not anything that's gonna go take us levels above, but this is just a good step in the right direction. Because my energy, I know my energy sounds like I'm about to say we're about to win the league or something. Like, no. Let me calm down. Now, check this out. On El Neni Pirlo, bro. I told, man, look, in our Arteta system, we don't have a creative midfielder. So you know what El Neni's going to do now? He's going to do that Michael Carrick role, that quarterback role. All he has to do, you saw how he was taking it out of the press. Man United couldn't even press. And if you look at it, bro, Arteta clocked it, bro. He clocked it. He looked at the team and look, what we did last season to them at home at the Emirates, literally, we pressed them and we boxed them in last season the same way, the exact same way. Look at who they're playing out of the back with, bro. Maguire, people say he's a great ball-playing center back. I don't see it. Wan-Bissaka is maybe the best defensive fullback in the league, but guess what? He's not someone that you can play out of the press with. So obviously, we were just boxing them in every chance we got, and we Arteta clocked it, bro. My thing is this, like, yo, on Ollie, bro, I feel like also he spent terribly. Like, if you want to be a possession-based team, why are you buying Wan-Bissaka, for example? Wan-Bissaka will never even get into a Pep side, bro. Like it's levels to this in terms of what you're buying as a club as well. But on El Neni and on this midfield, Thomas Partey, he did exactly what I thought he was going to do. He wasn't spectacular, but he just did what he had to do because guess what? Manchester United wasn't good enough for him to have to raise his level or raise his game yesterday. He played like a solid 6.5 out of 10. He wasn't ridiculous. It's just literally, in my opinion, they were so poor and we did what we had to do tactically. We set up correctly. You have to call it that. Bro, also one more thing before. Yo, McTominay, right? Just a quick stat. McTominay has played the most minutes out of any Manchester United midfielder under Ollie's reign. Look, check this out. Think about it. The players you start the most as a manager identify who you are as a manager. If Scott McTominay is one of the first names on your team sheet, that shows the type of football you want to play. He said yesterday, his press conference, I never watched Manchester United press conferences, but I felt like for this one I had to. He said, the system depends on the team you play. Bro, if that's not a sackable offense, bro, I don't know what is. If that is not a sackable offense, like, yo, Arteta clocked it. Arteta did the job. I told Egal, I told all these men, bro. I said, look, don't panic. We don't have a creative midfielder. The games like Leicester are going to happen. The reason why they're going to happen is because we don't have someone that's going to have that killer ball, that final product. And against Leicester, we got behind them multiple times. That first half, we just didn't have that last bit of magic. Like, it's one of those. It's going to happen in the season unless we go address that in January. But against Manchester United, one more thing, bro. I wasn't worried. And the thing about it too was like, yo, Egal, like, all right, so I'm not old enough like some of you men, bro, where like you guys have seen us against Roy Keane and Vieira and all that stuff. Bro, I'm in the era where we're getting battered by Man United every season. Back 2 times, bro. Passed around like a blunt, bro. Like, I'm used to that type of energy from Man United. This season, I wasn't worried about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I wasn't worried about him. I wasn't worried about the only way I would have been worried, and I'm be honest with you, the only way I was going to be worried about this team is if he started Donny van de Beek, if he started Matic, if he started players that will keep the ball. Bruno Fernandes doesn't keep the ball. So when we're pressing you and they give it to Bruno Fernandes, look at his pass accuracy. He's so inefficient as a player. So when he loses the ball back, guess what? We win the ball back every 2 seconds. Of course we're going to keep the ball. Of course we're going to.
1 second. Let me cut you off right there. There's 2 people who want to reply to you.
That's Matic's problem. He holds the ball too long. That's his problem. So if he started, then you guys would have probably slapped us even more. I'm just saying that. And yes, we didn't play well yesterday. Our midfield is our weakest spot, but Matic, we've seen it. His actual fall is holding on to the ball too long, mate. So if he started, yesterday, then you guys would have scored way more.
I'll get to you, but first, Jem, you're reacting. You're making a lot of faces when he was speaking. What exactly did you disagree with?
Not much. I mean, he made a lot of sense in what he was saying. I ain't gonna lie. I think the El Nini thing's a bit blown out of the water, to be honest. Not gonna lie to you. How many
No,
games?
it's banter.
Huh?
It's banter, but we'll take it on these days. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no, fair
We're
enough.
in the game.
He's definitely a one-hit wonder, isn't he? You have one game like that where he's amazing, and then next game he's absolutely shocking. And that's the problem with El Nini. He doesn't have any consistency to his
To
game.
be fair to him, though,
But-
to be fair to him, my bad. To be fair to him, this season he hasn't had much opportunities, and if you look at his opportunities, Liverpool in the Community Shield, he was arguably man of the match there. In certain games, he's been almost our man of the match or a very 7 out of 10 because what his job in the team is so simple that someone like him could do it consistently on a consistent basis.
But you know what? Yeah, El Neni's problem was never his application. Like he's always worked very hard. His technical ability was always there. It was lacking. Like remember, Wenger signed him, and we used to play very well on a Wenger, like in the midfield.
Okay, I've got to be back. Yeah, sweet, bro.
Later, John.
But for me with Enelni, the problem with him, he's an 8. Yeah, and with an 8, you tend to dribble forward sometimes to carry the ball. And in the past, what he would do, you run into a cul-de-sac and you'll get crowded out, and then we'll get hit on the counter, little things like that. But if you simplify his game and he plays deep, covers the spaces and follow the runners, it's rewarding. Like he will do the job. It's when he starts to complicate his game and try to do more than what he's capable of. That's when I don't like it. It bugs me. But yesterday he was perfect, man. He was perfect.
Yeah. Bro, if you look at the comments, bro, people are saying it, bro. Bruno has no ball retention, bro. Like the players he started cannot keep the ball. What did you think was gonna happen? Like
I said that.
Can I stop you guys right here? Let ads get in.
All I want to say is, by far, yes. Like I said, our midfield is our weakest spot, but we can't say Fred didn't play. We can't say he was our worst player yesterday because he wasn't. He was actually the only midfielder trying to make challenges.
I don't think he was.
He was the only player trying to. I'm not saying you guys. It's just Indiana said he didn't play well yesterday. He didn't play well yesterday, but he was the only midfielder trying to tackle Partey or any of the players trying to come forward.
He's the only one trying to get on the ball.
McTominay, shit. Pogba, shit. Bruno, shit. They did nothing. No fucking leadership at all. Listen, Ross, look at Fred's positioning. If it was an RCM, we would have played a little bit better yesterday. Yes, we still would have lost, but we would have played a little bit better yesterday without McTominay on the field as well. Yes, Matic isn't a massive upgrade from McTominay, but he's better. I still feel like Arsenal would have still taken advantage of him because he hasn't got the legs anymore. But if anyone says, listen, the thing is, I've said, yes, Fred is a good player. I'm not overhyping him. I'm just saying people should give him the love that he deserves. And now he's finally getting it. I'm happy. But
he's a one-trick pony, Ad.
No.
He's a one-trick pony. Fred is 100%.
You think so?
Yeah,
I
he's
think
only good in the press. Fred is.
Yeah, I get that. I get.
And 2K FIFA Reaper, I've seen a lot of your YouTube stuff, right? What I'd like you to do is go back and analyze the Leipzig game and look at where Donny van de Beek picks up positions when Fred's in the press.
He picks them up in certain spaces.
Because that covers. Bruno won't do that for you. Pogba won't do that for you. People are moaning about Pogba. Pogba will not defend wherever he's playing on the pitch.
Wherever.
He will not defend, which is why he can't play in the 10 because he won't defend from the front.
Yeah.
That's no good. The reason Matic is better, and he's our only CDM. The reason why Matic is our best player in CDM, one, because that is his role, and two, because his awareness. Scott McTominay didn't have a great game, but if the players in front of you aren't tracking runners, aren't picking up the ball, aren't making the passes, he's going to get dragged out.
Indiana,
then he's out of position and he's not disciplined.
Indiana, he wasn't a CDM yesterday.
I understand that off the ball, but I'm saying when Man United was on the ball, though, he tends to get into the same position as Fred rather than actually staying high. That's the only fault I've got of McTominay from yesterday.
Can I just say something? Though?
I agree. Look, both of these players are fringe players for me. When I look at the standard of Manchester United, Fred for me is a fringe player. If you had the next few windows being backed, Fred would be gone. He would be gone.
But both of them were playing very well together last season when Pogba was injured. That combination was working very well for you, and they were interchanging between the two. That is why Scott McTominay is
But
the
he-
most
I-
picked
yeah, but-
midfielder for under.
I agree,
One second,
but he's
guys.
very,
Say
he's
something, though.
very inconsistent.
Yeah,
He
but
does dilly dally on the ball.
Indiana,
He's
yesterday,
terrible on the ball.
Indiana, did you not see the sheet yesterday? McTominay was an RCM. He wasn't a CDM. He was an RCM.
Yeah.
And the only reason why he plays well is if he's either next to Matic or Fred. That just proves he's not good enough for our club. Yes, like you said, Donny is, in my opinion, the best midfielder moving forward. Yes, Fred doesn't do that enough. He's great passing going forward, not backwards, because he tends to fuck up sometimes doing that. But
I disagree there as well. I think he holds on to it too long.
Bro,
One
again,
second, guys. One second, guys. 1 second. I'm gonna try to get room for some people to come in. But Jack, did you have anything to say before you go, mate?
I just think the problem with Man United midfield is they got very low IQ. As in, like, when we were pressing them, I just feel like they didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Especially Fred and McTominay. They could never escape the press. The amount of times to party or no, we won the ball back was so many times.
Yeah. Anyways, Jack, thanks for coming on, mate. If you want to come on anytime again, let me know. Message me on Twitter at TheKidEG. And you know what? Thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Bro.
So can I just continue what I'm saying? I just want to say, Indiana, you can say Fred hold on to the ball too long, but if that's the case, then what the fuck is Matic doing? Because we all know Matic holds on to the ball longer than him.
Yeah, but
it's facts. And he doesn't know what to do with it.
I think the difference, I think the difference between Matic, so even though he holds on to it, his awareness is very good, and he doesn't tend to lose the ball. He won't let himself get crowded. Fred tends to let himself get crowded out, and then he loses the ball. Yeah, that's the only difference.
Bro,
Matic
go on,
is
Indiana. Go on.
We forget that Matic has never had a great season playing a single pivot.
Double pivot all the time.
Like the double pivot, when there's been two of them in there, someone next to Matic, he's had great seasons. He's won, with Chelsea, he did all right in a double pivot, but he's never done well on his own there. Again, this all goes back down to the board and not buying the players that the manager needs.
The only thing I would say on the board on that situation is I feel like Ollie's gotten the most backing out of any manager in the last like 2-3 years, bro. All the players he bought were Ollie type signings. But I think on this one point though, with Ollie, it's like, yo, all right. So for example, you guys stayed in the diamond. We just kept exploiting the wide areas for large periods of that game, and you guys didn't switch the diamond until the 70th minute. The changes were super predictable. You guys talk about Pochettino as potentially like that person that could come in and do the job. He would actually be able to probably fit Bruno, Pogba, and Donny van de Beek in the same team, because Donny van de Beek is probably your best midfielder besides Paul Pogba, if you want to say. I think he's probably your best midfielder.
Can we address this?
One second, brother. What are we gonna do with that? There's no defense or shielding in that. There's nothing there, bro. Yes,
no. 4-2-3-1. 4-2-3-1.
Oh, a 4-2-3-1 then.
Still don't think it works.
It's still not that shielding. All I'm gonna say is, if we bring Posh in, I'll say it again and again. This is controversial. If you bring Posh in or any other fucking shit unknown manager, shit's gonna get worse. And
why?
It's gonna get worse. Look at the state we're in now. We're bringing a new manager in. Look, when Oli first came into the job, yes, he played a few good games and he started off pretty well, right? Then we started the season, 1920 season. We beat Chelsea 4-0, and then we lost a few games. Look at how that's games. That's only talk about games. When it comes to transfers, yes, like you said, he's had the most backing up most of the managers, right? It's still poor. And it's still not good enough. That is a club legend.
But why is it going to get worse?
Can I just address this backing in the window?
How are they going to treat another? I'm just saying. Oh, go on. Sorry, Indiana. Go on.
So we know, right? We know that Ed Woodward's gone to the Glazers. They know they want Sancho, right? Ollie wants Sancho. Woodward's turned around to Ollie. This is all true. Woodward's turned around to Ollie. Yeah. We're getting Sancho. They then get Donny van de Beek.
Same thing with Haaland.
We're still getting Sancho. We're still getting Sancho. Up until I think it was the Friday or Saturday when Sancho lets it be known that he's not making the move. That's how bad it is. The
in the
the
end,
board are not straight with the manager for a
Yeah,
start.
your negotiations are terrible.
Yeah.
It's not the
Your negotiations
negotiations.
at the
It's
club.
not about
Right.
that.
no,
It's
It's
not
not
the
it
about
is.
that.
negotiations. Granted, there's not football people in the club, and they must be terrible at it. They are bad at it, right? But when your board are lying to the players and the manager, that's a big issue.
Problem.
At least be straight with the manager and be like, "We're not getting him. It's
In
not
the
going
end,
to happen.
but
So pick someone else."
One
Do you know what I
second.
mean?
Sahal's trying to say something. Indiana. Sahal, what's up?
did Dortmund give you guys a deadline of whenever the deadline was saying pay 100? You guys know what the price was. Man United didn't want to
Yep.
pay it. They bought
Yep.
two youngsters. They bought two youngsters to cover it up, and they bought Donny van de Beek. I don't think it's anything to do with Man United's bad form or anything to do with the lack of investment. Some of the players it's similar to Arsenal. I say you guys we give up. They give up too early. You can see as soon as that game they gave up. There was Paul Pogba gave up. Even the passion merchants like James and things like that, they won't give up. They will keep running. You'd rather have them at one point, like me as well. I didn't want to, what's it called? Who was it? Like Ozil, like for example, like when you see him, you can see sometimes he just gives up on the game. I think Man United players, some of the players in there are bad eggs because Jose also remember Jose. He didn't like a couple of players. He didn't like Pogba. He didn't like Luke Shaw. He didn't like. Remember when he wanted to get rid of half the team just because it wasn't his
Yeah, but
type of
that's who
players.
he is, though.
Bro,
All
I
he's
Yeah.
not
gotta give
getting
you
his
some
players.
excuse.
That's the problem.
But that's who he is, though. You got to remember when you buy.
Yeah, but
when
you have
you
to
get
say-
Jose
you
Mourinho,
have
he
to
wants players at prime right now. He wants to win right now. He's not thinking about 5 years down the line.
yeah.
That's
But
why
he's
he
not gonna
wanted
be
to
there.
sell Anthony Martial.
Yeah, but
He was right to do that for
Jose-
what he does.
Yeah, but Jose, he loves passion merchants. He loves the guys that will run
Yeah,
endlessly. He loves those kind of guys. So
Yeah, yeah.
when you guys don't support him, get those guys in. It's like a repeating door. Like you buy Paul
Yeah.
Pogba. Paul Pogba is the opposite of that. Why would you buy
Yeah.
Paul Pogba when Jose Mourinho is a type of manager you would prefer Kante? 100,
Yes.
100, 100
Money
over
though,
time.
though, it's
Now
money
you
though,
got
innit?
Ole. Huh?
That is the
Say that again,
problem.
sorry.
This is why
Recruitment.
a director of football is needed. So if you buy Paul Pogba, you know what you're getting. You're getting a luxury
Yeah.
player that needs hard-working players around him. Simple as that. Like he's
Yeah.
and when you do that, he can fly, and he is the best in the world at what he does when he's got those players around him.
James
But they
Rodriguez,
haven't
perfect
backed
example.
him.
But
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if you
Bro,
if you
it's like
remember
this,
when
bro. I feel like
Solskjaer,
the same thing with Ozil, bro. Same thing with
One second,
Ozil.
let
Like,
Nitish
if
say
you look
what
at
he
it.
was saying.
yeah, I was just saying, if you
Rodriguez?
remember,
Oh, my bad.
sorry, when
Okay, let Nitish
when-
finish.
when Jose Mourinho and Solskjaer were playing Pogba in an advanced role, he was flourishing a bit more. I mean, playing him at the back in the midfield, three-man midfield, where he's playing like a defensive midfielder kind of role, and he's
Well,
trying to
he
run on the
plays
left wing.
there. He
No,
plays
but
there for France. He played there for Juventus. That's one thing I don't get about Pogba. He has the physical ability to do it. He has every single thing. He has played that position. Yeah, don't at me. Yeah, he literally plays this DM next to Kante, left-sided. He played
but
left-sided next to
different
Pirlo.
role.
How the hell can you not do it?
The key words you just said there were next to Kante.
Yeah, but he
Exactly.
played with Pirlo as well.
You have Matic and McTominay. Like, you don't have that level. of defensive
Juventus,
like,
you've got Marquisio, Vidal,
Yeah,
Pirlo,
but
prime
Bonucci,
Vidal,
most of
Chiellini
the game,
behind them,
prime
Evra.
Vidal.
Yeah.
One
most of the
second,
games he was
one
next to
second, guys.
Pirlo.
1 second, guys. I love this conversation, but I have a question from the audience, and I want to address this. He asked us specifically from the three players at Manchester United between Fred, Pogba, and Van de Beek. Is it who would you guys take? And he's asking me and Kesh directly, but I want to ask everybody
God.
here. In my opinion, I think Van de Beek. We haven't seen the best of him, but I think he has more about him, and I would rather take
Bro.
him over the other two. In my opinion, I don't know
Bro.
about you guys.
Bro,
Pogba.
the spaces
Pogba, yeah.
Johnny Van Dijk picks up are literally ridiculous. The movement that the man has is amazing. He's one of those players he's an 8 in everything. He's not a master of none. He's a jack of all trades type of player. But I feel like you just don't have the manager one
Yo, sorry.
that knows where
I'll
to get.
pick personally.
That's-
I wouldn't.
What's
Sorry. I wouldn't take any of those players. personally, I think Arsenal need something more creative. And I'm
That's
going
I
now.
don't
So
think-
you know what? I'm just praying, yeah, that Arsenal randomly find the next Kevin De Bruyne in our youth academy.
Yeah,
You
well,
know,
Pogba is
Egal,
creative.
me and Egal. Yeah, but he's not. Come on, man, don't compare him to
Bro.
Kevin, man. Kevin, man, he's
But no
next
one is
level.
Bro, I
comparing
would
him
have
to
took
Kevin.
Van de
I'm praying for the next Kevin De Bruyne at Arsenal. That's what we need.
Okay,
That's what we
Sahal.
need at Arsenal.
Have a good night, Sahal.
Do you know what one of the biggest problems
Bro,
is that everybody seems to think Van der Beek's a 10.
He's not. He's a box-to-box 8. He's not a 10.
Exactly.
It's a bit
So
like
what is it?
Ajax. People just talk off Twitter tweets. It's facts.
We have no 10s and one CDM.
Bruno's not a
And
10.
every other midfielder is a box-to-box.
Bruno's not a 10. Do you see for Portugal? For Portugal, you think Bruno's gonna be allowed to play all these Hollywood balls and play a million passes that won't work out? Bruno Fernandes is under a strict Portugal side and a strict Portugal regimen.
Didn't Bruno play an 8 for Sporting?
He played 8
Yes,
and 10.
he did. He played 8 and 10, but mostly 8. Majority of his games were 8. So my thing is,
an
bro,
8.
yeah, he's an 8. You guys have no 10s, and the fact is, I'm telling you, all these just
Yes, I
shoehorning
do
players
live in
in.
the UK. Yes, I do.
Let me tell you something about Donny. Yeah, the thing is, right? People have this misconception that Donny van der Beek can only play as a 10. The guy can play as a 10. He can play as a 6. He can play as a number 8. Like for Ajax, do you know what? You have a similar player to the partner that you had with Ajax and Fred, because Lisandro Martinez is exactly the same player as Fred. I don't understand why.
No, I think his ball retention and his passing ability is levels above Fred.
Lisandro is more defensive.
Yeah, I get that, but he's a similar player. So Donny van der Beek doesn't have to adapt as much compared to what he
A
has
similar
to do.
player in what though?
Like in terms of him
in his
being
running.
as a ball ball winner and then driving with the ball.
Martinez is a more of a defensive midfielder who can play as a centre back as well.
Yeah, but his main attributes are ball retention, isn't it? And Fred has that ability to press. And Donny van der Beek is known to be a controller in the midfield, which I think Man United lacked in that game. You like Indiana said, you couldn't string 2 passes together. And like Donny's a playmaker. Donny can play as a playmaker, and I don't understand why you don't use him.
That's where I will criticize Ollie here, in that I felt like he half went for it, in that he had on Matic and Scott McTominay, and brought off Greenwood. I would like to have seen Rashford, Cavani, and Greenwood up top. I think that would have made a difference. Yeah.
Ram, how does that work though? Because I take it you're saying you can play a double pivot, yeah, with Van der Beek and Fred, but then you haven't got a creative outlet Ajax did in the stage.
But wouldn't
how does it work?
That's why you have to play Bruno deeper. For me, Bruno's got to go in the 8. That has to happen for me.
I think you should have played with Donny van der Beek and Fred, with Bruno and Pogba as the 2 attacking midfielders.
I got the feeling, honestly, he was still defending the final lead against Leipzig. He was still in that game. He forgot that this was a new match and that they needed to attack.
No, because if you think about it, right, the 2 strikers that you have in Marcus Rashford and Greenwood, those guys can make that width in that play that you have, because Greenwood played as a winger, and for me, Marcus Rashford is a natural winger. And imagine,
it wasn't just the passing; it was the movement. Like I'm watching the whole midfield stood on their heels. So like if a centre back's got the ball, they're on their heels. It wasn't. I doubt Thomas Partey came off with a bead of sweat on his head. I'd be surprised. It was an easy game for a player of that ability.
You played like a 6 out of 10.
Guys, let me stop you guys there for 1 second.
Egal.
We're going to get back to this. There's something going on in the comment section. Guys are saying I'm from Somalia, I'm from China. No, I'm from Canada, and I'm in the UK.
From China?
I don't know. They're making jokes. Anyways.
China from, bro.
I don't know. Anyways, where were we?
Bro, Indiana, bro.
Jeremiah, I agree, man. Yeah, go on.
Oh, yeah, bro. Like,
let's move the conversation away. Let's move the 1 second. Let's move the conversation away from Van der Beek. Let's move the conversation away from that. Going into this game, Manchester United were in a better position. And going into this game, I said specifically Chelsea, Manchester United, Spurs, and Tottenham are all in the same position. These games have now showed us we can go and beat Tottenham or lose to Tottenham next game, or Chelsea could beat Manchester United, or Manchester United could beat Chelsea. All of us 4 teams were in the same situation. These games only show us who has a better manager and who shows up that game. Now going forward, does this predict top 4? Does this change your opinion on top 4? That's my question for you guys.
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all, and it doesn't.
I already had Man United out of the top 4.
I'll be honest, Egal, it doesn't tell me that Arsenal were in the chance of beating all these teams because of the way they beat Man United. Like
Man United is.
I can only be honest. Like there wasn't even a midfield battle. I said this last night. There wasn't even a battle in midfield. So it wasn't like you won a battle in midfield, and because of that, I feel Arsenal should have had like 10, 20 shots on goal. That game shouldn't have been much different to the Spurs game, really.
No.
That should have been a 2-3-0 game.
And I think, on Egal's question, right? Like Indiana, like where do you guys go from here? I remember. Oh, I'm muted.
I hear you.
You can hear me?
It keeps cutting in and out.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, go again.
Oh, okay. Indiana, for like Egal says, I really don't think this result does anything. I just think it's a confidence booster for Arsenal. I don't think it's a major stepstone or anything of that nature. So like, where do you guys go from here? Do you guys sack Oli? Because Ad said that it's not going to change regardless if you change the manager, and I think that's literally ridiculous. Like, I think a better manager would know where to place some of these players. You guys have a team that's at least 3rd in the league, at least.
But we got 3rd in the league last season.
Yeah, I'm saying like how you guys have started. You guys at least have a team to challenge, like Chelsea's position.
My view on it is that I'm Oli in because I haven't seen anything that I can solely blame Oli for to say Oli out. I see the improvements. The only coaching he does with the strikers, and for me, Martial, Rashford, Greenwood, they've all improved. So that tells me that his actual coaching is good. If you told me that we had 4 whose CV?
Like I'm saying, Ollie's CV. So look at it. Like when you have Mourinho.
Ollie's won titles and Poch's won nothing.
And you have to put context into it as well. Ollie won what's this called? What's the team called?
For Molde.
Molde's first title in its history since inception. So that's a pretty big achievement.
Ollie's also because Ollie's the first manager to create this board, if you like, that deals with transfers, mainly young talent. Man United are buying the best young talent from around Europe. They just bought a kid from Man City who scored 600 goals at academy level. Like they're poaching players from rivals.
But it's very risky, though. That's a very risky.
That is very risky move. But I'm for the first time in like 10 years, I'm seeing some sort of plan from the back, because you can't change the owners and you can't change the board. That's not going to happen. So until I see enough, until I can turn around and say, so you don't think that's Ollie's fault? That's Ollie's fault. I think he should stay. But if he got sacked tomorrow and Poch came in, I'd be Poch in. Does that make sense?
Like, yeah, that makes sense.
I don't want to see that every 2 years a new manager come in.
Okay, so let's not get too stuck on Ollie.
I think what Ollie needs to do is he needs to redesign his coaching staff. I don't think he's got coaching staff that's adequate enough to improve this team. Like Carrick, I don't see how Carrick is on that coaching staff.
Cash, I think I know, and I do agree with you because I have thought this a lot myself. Yeah, I think that he probably has Mike Phelan and Carrick there to try and get some sort of culture, if you like. But I do agree that he could probably do with getting some better coaching staff in. Just for the football side, like it's a balance.
Egal, I'm going away from Oli, but like with Arteta, right? For example, like people don't know this, Steve Brown is a very well-known player in figure in the game, well-known figure in the game, and he was actually a part of David Moyes' coaching staff at Everton before when he knew Mikel Arteta was a player. Like certain players that Mikel Arteta brought in, assistant coaches and stuff like that, and like they're football guys. They hands, but you know what I mean. Same thing.
And come back.
Still can't hear me.
It's just
Sorry,
coming in and out.
jump out, come back.
Okay.
I was just saying. Sorry.
Yeah,
That was
go
little
ahead.
Wi-Fi, man.
No, I said this on your last show? Does anyone get the feeling that the Manchester United is probably looking to do something more in the Champions League than in the Premier League? They're looking
no
a
club,
totally
no
different
club
team.
looks it like that though.
No, and especially Man United. Man United would
That's a small
prioritise
club
a
mentality.
cup competition over the league. They would.
No, maybe it could be Ole might have been told that this is maybe your last season to prove a point, and maybe instead of targeting league in that sense, he's targeting the Champions League as a cup.
No, but that's something you think
beyond
about
beyond
in
the post.
March if you're
That's
definitely
like that's a small club mentality. If you're going to say,
Yeah, and
you're
do you
gonna
know what?
put
I
down
think
one
Ollie would actually
competition
turn
for
around and
another.
say, "See ya, mate, I'm off."
It's too early for that
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you guys
it's
hear
way
me,
too
buddy?
early. Yeah.
Do you guys hear me, buddy? All right, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So, like I was saying, like Arteta surrounded himself with Steve Round or and different assistant coaches that have been well known and experienced around the game. Ollie, like I feel like he needs to surround himself with that type of level of quality on the team. But I feel like Ollie sold Manchester United a dream, just like how Arteta is selling us a dream. But we could see certain types of progress with Arteta. We could see different things in the game that we could say, okay, cool. Like I clocked this. Like for example, with Leicester, how we played high wingbacks, for example. I clocked it. I was like, all right, cool. I see that we're trying things. I don't see how like Ollie's trying things in terms of like tactically after he already sets out the formation that's gonna improve Man United. And same thing with Arteta. But I think he's helping us improve Arsenal.
Yeah.
What's good, bro?
Let Ram go.
Can I just quickly address that point? With
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole,
Go ahead.
Go on.
Assistant manager, everything like that. Like, I think the most important thing when you have an assistant coach and your assistant manager and your first team coaches is that the manager has to trust them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's
like
100%.
Pep Linders when he first joined he just came back from a really, really bad spell with, I think, NAC Breda, I think some Dutch team, I think they got relegated. Came back, and because Klopp knows him very well and had a good relationship with him, he was like, yeah, you can be my assistant manager because we can work together. Like Peter Kravitz has been his right or left hand man for God knows how long. Since the start of his career, Peter Kravitz has always been right there where Klopp has been through in Mainz, in Dortmund, and even till now. So I get your point of bringing in like world-class coaches, but you need to have someone that understands you and understands what you're trying to do, because you can't just bring in some random highly rated first team coach, because these are like your say the manager's like the general. These are like your lieutenant.
That oversees everything.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that doesn't change the point that they still need to go get a new coaching staff. Like I agree with you that it has to be someone the manager trusts, but they still need to go and get a new coaching staff and get that thing. We've cleared out most of our coaching staff. For example, just for example, like we've cleared out most of it.
Yeah,
but doesn't that come with when you're replacing a manager? The certain manager wants his own staff around him because
they need to have their own.
Because they understand his philosophy.
Okay, so do you think
Phelan
and do you think Carrick and
one second. We got one guy here out of all of us as a manager, and I want to ask him, Indiana, do you think it's a thing that Ollie went with the people that are already there, or do you think he wanted to pick his own people and wasn't given the opportunity to do that?
I think he has picked his own people. I think Mike we forget McPhelan was there under Sir Alex. He was his assistant. I think he is trying to build from the academy. I think Ollie would happily walk away from the job, not winning anything, but feeling like the academy is at an elite level. I fully believe that. That's the reason. That's the reason why I can't be Ollie out right now. I can't be Ollie out for having a guy in management who was trying to take the club in the right direction. Because we know for a fact, when another manager comes in, they'll get backed in the first window like every other manager has, but they won't get backed in the second window. So what happens? You end up with half-built squads, half-built teams. And then the manager's trying to throw them all together. Every manager's got their own ideas, their own way of playing, that certain players they like, players they bond to, coach and staff they get along with, they trust. It's just the way it is. You have to have a period of probably 4 years with Ollie. No matter how bad it gets, have 4 years with him, back him in the window. He'll get some signings that he wants, but maybe he'll sort the academy. Maybe we'll get some growth through that.
So,
Okay.
so
Now-
just want to ask one thing. When
Yeah.
do you say that it's time to sack him?
I think it's too soon right now. It's time to sack Ollie when I am when I see things that I'm like, that is 100% Ollie's fault. If I see him do things like play Martial on the right wing, or like stupid decisions, or if the substitutions are wrong over a period of time, if I see a period of games that we are losing, then I can say, okay, I think it's time for him to go. He's lost the dressing room.
And that's what I'm saying.
But if you ask me the 4 games, if you ask me like Chelsea, PSG, Leipzig, and Arsenal, 2 wins, 1 draw, and a loss, yes, I'd have taken it.
And I'm saying like, and I feel like, bro, like football's such a reactionary like. I feel like for people that saying Arteta in, Arteta out, and people that saying Oli and Oli out, like Indiana, as most Man United fans would disagree with like that. Oli needs to go and everything. But I do respect that like you need to see something over a large sample size before you make your opinion. Just how people are Arteta out. I feel like you can't just make an opinion based off a couple games, 3-4 games. You need to make it over 8 to 10, 12, like a large sample size to know truly what you feel about this manager. That's how I feel like, bro. Twitter, will Arsenal lose tomorrow or Arsenal lose to Dundalk or whatever team you're playing, or on the weekend, oh my God, Arteta, I don't know.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's what really gets me. If this was Frank Lampard, right? I could get that. Chelsea throw money for players for managers. They buy every player the manager wants, pretty much.
Yeah.
But neither of these clubs are backing their manager. So how can you call out? Like you're focusing your energy in the wrong direction here.
Facts.
That's just it's madness. I can't get it, and I'll be honest. I'm sick of listening to it. I've unsubscribed from certain YouTubers who can just talk Ollie out and change their agenda.
Let me say something though. Let's get away from Ollie out. Let's talk about the culture of 1 second, 2K. 1 second, 2K. Let's get to the bottom of this culture where you're 1 game away from a crisis every single time. Have you guys noticed that? Liverpool, you guys lose 1 game, you guys have an injury crisis now. The whole fan base don't overreact. But for Arsenal, Manchester
Liverpool
United,
are in trouble.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised if
you guys keep it in house. You guys keep it in house. You know what I mean? Where I respect that. I don't see it going crazy on social media. Maybe it's just because I don't see it. But Manchester United, they lose 2 games in a row. Indiana, it's utter chaos. Arsenal lost 2 games in a row. This game, if we would have lost, pitchforks for Arteta were getting ready. People don't care.
Either sides of the coin, Egal. You got to remember, like Liverpool have won 1 league title in 30 odd years.
Yeah.
Man United were dominating for 20 plus years. And although we've had 7 years of being terrible, this is fresh to most Liverpool fans. Winning is fresh. So most of them are sat there quietly confident they're going to win the league again. Most of them are. That's why you didn't hear much from them.
Yeah.
But Man United is expected. We've got a spoiled fan base, like really spoiled. Like you two are older Arsenal fans, right? You and Kesh. So you will remember like the years after your last title and the Invincibles, how it slowly started creeping in.
False hope.
Yeah.
False hope. But I want to ask Sonny. Sonny, you didn't get to speak much. What do you think in the situation that the 2 clubs are in and everything? Is it always overreaction after a win and overreaction after a loss?
Wait, who United and Arsenal?
Yeah. Or do you notice that also?
I'd say with Arsenal, I don't think they can find consistency, because I think I would not be surprised if you lose to Thriller next week. And then with United, I think the problem that not many people look at, I think the players are so weak, like weak-minded, like mentality not there.
Yeah. Can I just address that actually? Because I've heard this a few times. The manager, the statement I keep hearing and seeing on Twitter and YouTubers is the manager is not good enough to get these players up for a game, to get them ready for a game mentally. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Like if you're a professional footballer and you're playing against Arsenal or anybody, actually, if you're playing against anybody, you shouldn't have to be prepared to be mentally ready. If you need that,
he did basically quote that though.
He said the exact words
in his press conference.
Yeah.
His exact words was, I don't think they had the enthusiasm to play this game.
my bad, guys. I have like kind of delay, so like if I talk like in between you guys, it's because like I guess you guys are hearing me like a 5 seconds later or something like that. But like on the whole Oli thing, I remember watching the like, post match like right when they go to the thing, and he said something about like, oh yeah, the players they probably got excited after Leipzig, and then you have to get back up for a Premier League game. Like, yo, dude, that's your job. Your job is to get these players ready and mentally focused and prepared as well. The players have to take ownership as well. They need to be ready for that for these games. But
I disagree.
We also need leaders in the squad.
They're not getting ready.
I'm sorry.
What?
Like, you're playing for Manchester United Football Club. You do not need a man to turn around and get you mentally ready for a game. You should already be focused. And if these players cannot get focused for a game against Arsenal, this isn't us playing the FA Cup against a bottom of the championship side. There's real rivalry there. It matters to the fans.
And
if you can't get up for this game, you should not be a professional footballer, let alone playing for Manchester United. That's madness.
To add on Indiana's point, like how many times have Liverpool fans heard Klopp say, "I needed to get the dressing room. I need to wheel them up." He always says that the players that he has, they have a mentality on their own. And you can't just ask a manager to say a couple of things. Then there'll be incredible. They'll be playing at a high level.
I'm not asking
their own.
No, it's still down to the players. Just like how Indiana said, it's still down to the players. But I'm saying if it's happening over a consistent period of time and you're not changing the board, you're changing these in like incremental things in the structure of the club, then the only option is to again remove the manager if he cannot consistently motivate his players. If you lose the dressing room, guess what? Are you going to still expect the players? That's my opinion.
I think the first option would be to make somebody else captain. Just put a new leader on the pitch. For me. That would be the first thing I would do. If my team are not performing and I need to see a leader out on the pitch, I'd look at somebody who's trying to gear them up on the pitch.
Galvanize.
Who's your leader? Who's your leader?
Definitely.
Yeah, guys.
Bruno Fernandes is a good leader.
I think Bruno's the most natural leader on the pitch. I think he's the most natural leader. I don't think Harry Maguire is.
Guys, we need to end this topic. We're gonna be. I don't have a lot of time. I'm gonna be doing a couple more shows today, so I know closing remarks will take a little bit of a time. So let's get our closing remarks. Everyone, tell us what they thought about the game, what they think is gonna happen, and how you feeling going into the next game. Because we've already painted the picture where we are now. Now let's paint the picture where we're gonna be for next game. Like Indiana, if you were to take this game and your closing remarks from this game, how are you feeling going into the next game?
Actually, I do feel that we'll win the next game. I don't think these players can look at themselves and be happy or proud of their performance. They're gonna have something to prove now. So I see us winning our next game. I think that's what's going to happen. It can't get any worse, can it? That was probably the worst midfield performance I've ever seen from a Manchester United team. It was that bad.
Okay. And then Ahmed, I know you didn't get to speak much as a neutral. Where do you think these two? Where do you think Manchester United and Arsenal go from here?
I think about United, it shouldn't be so reactionary because it's just one game and they have had a good form. So you can't be so you can't criticize Ole too much. And Arteta, he should continue what he's doing. He's doing a great job, in my opinion. Just keep going. And win your easy games, not the hard games.
Let me say something. My battery's on 3%. I don't know where my charger is, so let me say this quickly. I just come off my other stream because I don't want to seem like I was running. Because obviously we did our previews and all that kind of stuff. Arsenal, well done, innit? They Arteta deserved it. You pressed us high. We couldn't pass out from the back. We got away with it in the first half because you lot missed a few chances, but then we gave it to you in the second half. Arteta did, on the balance of play, Arsenal deserve to win the game. But if Pogba doesn't make that silly challenge, it ends 0-0. But it ends 0-0 because we were able to create nothing. Holding and Gabriel, they done well. They pressed Marcus Rashford and Greenwood, and they couldn't hold up the ball. Our midfield, poor all day. All four of them, McTominay, Fred. I think they were in the wrong positions in the first case anyway. Bruno, Pogba, their passing was poor. Their discipline was poor in terms of their positioning and their decision making. Solskjaer got it wrong for 45 minutes. The players got it wrong for 90 minutes. It was a bad performance, but well done. Listen, my battery's about to die, so yeah, I just had to
Thanks for
come and
coming
say
on.
that.
Respect.
Yeah.
You didn't go missing. I respect that.
No. I didn't slip my throat either.
No, man. We don't want you hurting yourself.
All right, bless up.
All right, peace. All right. No problem. Okay, so yeah. Next, I'm gonna go to Liverpool fans. I know you guys don't really care about either team, but as neutrals, where do you think we take it from here? I'll start with Ram.
All right, fine. Let's just get this clear, right? This ain't no Arteta masterclass as Arsenal fans have been putting. It is clear. It is a situation where you were like, let's go and get a smash and grab. Let's go and get a goal. We defend. Use what we've been doing so well for the last couple of weeks, and it paid off. Manchester United didn't offer anything, and quite frankly, that was one of the worst performances I've ever seen from a Manchester United side. I think Arteta for the next couple of games, I don't know if he should change his tactics, because clearly it's been working for quite a bit of time. And whenever you changed it, i.e. Leicester, you ended up coming up unstuck. Like, you play great football, but you don't end up winning the game. So maybe this pragmatic kind of style of football might be the way to go for the next couple of months, or maybe until the end of the season, until you get reinforcements in. In terms of United, I honestly don't know how they can, because if you think about it, they're 15th, which is where Man United should not be. A club like Man United should be about third or fourth, and even if they win, they'll be 12th, like mid-table, which is just, I don't know whether Oli getting the sack will be the right choice, because I think it's just going to be another manager merry-go-round, and it's just going to take another 3 years until maybe the next manager actually does something, or even gets the sack.
Can I ask you all one question? I know you're going through, Egal, but for me, I think Ollie's got a choice to make, and I think that's either he carries on rotating like he has been, and maybe picking favourites, or he's got to be ruthless in the dressing room. And when he's ruthless in the dressing room, what sort of effect will that have on the players? Will it give them all a kick up the ass, or is he going to lose the dressing room?
Who's going first?
I think it depends. If the players are already sick and tired of hearing the same voice, it won't have an effect. But if it shocks them, if it puts a shock to the system and it tests their manhood, and they take it on the chin, then it depends what kind of character they have. If they're already sick of the guy, they're already made up their mind, and nothing's going to change their mind. It all depends on what kind of characters you have in the dressing room, and you know your characters better than we would.
Bro, I just feel like he doesn't have the personality to do that. I just don't think he has the personality to
No, he does.
I think he does.
Does he?
You cannot
I don't
play
know.
under Sir Alex Ferguson with Roy Keane and Gary Neville and be a soft touch. That ain't possible.
I get the feeling it will all be dependent on where United is with respect to a club. Either if they're like in a very good position, I think it can work positively. But if they're struggling and they're battling like a mid-table position, I think then it may go negatively and everything might fall apart.
Okay. Sonny, where are you at with the two teams?
If I was a United fan, I'd be worried, because last season you lost obviously a lot of games, but against the top six, you'd always find a way to get a result. This season, obviously, it's not gone like that. So if I was a United fan in the league, I'd be concerned. I think in the Champions League, this could be a really good, I think they've got a good chance in the Champions League, because I think still on their day, they could beat anyone. And I think especially this season, you might find a lot of teams off their day. So, and if I was an Arsenal fan, I think the quality you have, I can't see any consistency with that.
Yeah, no, I completely get it. Now, Nitish, what are you saying?
Yeah, again, with respect to United, I get the feeling, I know you guys said no, but I get the feeling that they know that if they have to win something, a realistic hope is actually maybe the Champions League, with Spanish clubs struggling and some of the other clubs struggling. I get the feeling, for some reason, even the players seem more motivated in the Champions League games against PSG and Leipzig. Maybe it is the setup, maybe things are different with respect to something that he has fed into their heads during those games. And one more thing with respect to United, I think I just read a funny stat. The last time United did not win in their first 5 games at Old Trafford, they finished 18th in the league. So
relegated.
So I hope that is not the case, because this is a better United team than what we might have had in those years. With respect to Arsenal, I think it's, you can say in a way, it's a lucky win. If not for the penalty, it would have been a goalless draw.
True. Now,
Yeah, but I mean, you have to do well to win the penalty.
Yeah, no, I
don't look at football like that. So I don't look at it as that if you get the penalty, or if you didn't get the penalty, I don't look at it like that.
I get that.
That was a lazy
when I say
tackle
lucky,
there.
Yeah, but
and when I say lucky, I feel concerned. I feel concerned that we should be killing these games, but we are not. That is the problem.
But you know what? It was a deserved win. In the grand scheme of things, if you look at the 90 minutes, it was a deserved win. Even though we got a penalty, it wasn't like we came there and we were the worse off and we got lucky. You could say we got a little bit lucky, but it was a deserved win. And I'm gonna leave Kesh for last. 2K, what are you saying?
Real quick, like someone said in the comments, it's 6 games in. So like I said, I think teams improve and teams go down depending throughout the duration of the season. I think Manchester United, can still win something. I think in cup games and champion ties, they're usually kind of the underdog. So I think for one, they can, win in one-off games. They can, sit back and win and hit break teams on the break. And then for Arsenal's sake, I think we'll still have the same issue with creating chances. Like, we don't have that creative midfielder. I think, there'll be games where like today where we get over the line, but there'll be games where we won't. But, that all depends. Maybe in January, who knows it, yeah? We might be talking about war coming in, for example, January. Who knows?
Hang on. That won't happen. Like,
okay,
Ram.
Did you just?
You're my guy. You're my guy.
I'm being real. I'm being real. You can hope, but a guy like Owless won't do that.
Yo, you do realize you're an Arsenal fan, right?
Dominic slot.
I want
Dominic slot.
Get him, Ram. Get him. Go.
Ahmed, thank you for coming on, mate. I'm gonna let Cash say his point now. Cash, you were saying?
In terms of Man United, I think they're having a bit of a Arsenal syndrome when it comes to winning games at home. Like, we were poor away from home, but Man United seem to have this trouble of playing at home where they're not taking a game to teams. They're just basically sitting back, and as a home team, you can't really do that. You're not going to win games like that. I think in terms of the Champions League, that kind of works because a lot of the teams in Europe now, they seem to want to play football, like all-out football. So when it comes up to against a team that's set up like that, they end up getting outdone really. And Man United is perfectly set up to play the counter-attacking football anyway. I think it's still early though. Like, as I said from the start of the season, you won't really see any consistency till about the 10th to 12th game in. That's when you can work out who's the real deal from who's not. In terms of Arsenal, we just need to take it one game at a time, really. I don't feel we should change our setup. I think we should actually try and find some consistency in the team selection and just let the boys kind of gain some confidence. In terms of the attacking play and things like that, remember, we still got a young kid in Martinelli coming back. I know we are saying that we need to put Saka out on the left wing and push Aubameyang up top, but maybe we could actually play Martinelli on the left wing and keep Saka there, because them two really had a great connection for the end of last season before Martinelli got injured. So there's still a lot of things to work out at the moment in this team. I'm not going to get carried away, but I do believe what Arsenal need to do is make sure that they're in and around it come January, where we can get a bit of reinforcement. I feel that's what we're missing, that creative edge, that person that can give you a bit of X factor in these games. So yeah.
True. Yeah. Anyways, it's been great, guys. I've already said my points a million times. I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet. I think Arteta did good, but we can't give him all the credit. We now have players that perform at a top level. In GABRIEL, in Leno performed well. In Partey, in Aubameyang, we have a core of players that we can build around. It's now the onus is now on the owner and the people behind Arteta to build the proper team around those players. and get us back to the promised land. I'm not going to get overexcited with the win, and I'm not going to get overdrawn into the crisis mode with a loss. And you know what? I hope everyone does that too. I might be the one get into arguments with other fans and stuff, but at the end of the day, we're all fans. We all support the same team. We all bleed the same blood, and we're all human. So no one's bigger than nobody else. And you know what? No one's opinion is bigger than anyone else. If you disagree with me, you disagree with me. If you disagree with anybody here, you disagree with them. But you know what? Let's all be civil and tell us in the comment section what you guys thought about this video. Thank you guys, and have a good night.